I promised you this wasn't clickbait, and I'm absolutely going to deliver on that promise. I despise clickbait. I've never seen one Chiron out in the wild, let alone two Chirons out in the wild. Have you? Absolutely crazy. I was floored when I saw this. One is a regular Chiron, if that's a thing, and the other is a Pur Sport. You know, the Pur Sport only goes 217 miles an hour, but it's about to get better. Did you see it? Did you see it in the reflection in the back? We have two Chirons. What's better than two Chirons? You guessed it, man. Three Chirons. This is a super sport. It's like a foot longer than the other ones and a super aggressive, angry look on this thing. Now this car cost about $4 million depending on how you spec it out, and has a top speed of 261 miles an hour, which would actually be pretty hard to hit here in Nevada, even though speeds of 200 are pretty easy with the roads that we have here. 261 would be tough, but if Bugatti gives me the chance and puts me in one of these, I'll give it a shot. But too bad for me, I'm nobody, and that's not going to happen.
You're welcome to keep filming. He's gonna back in here.
Sure, of course.
Well, how sweet was that? The woman who got out of the Chiron was worried for my safety. She thought I'd stand in the parking spot as the Chiron backed up and get ran over. So thank you for looking out for my safety. I appreciate it. Now, what she should have done was tell me not to be stupid enough to kneel on this asphalt when the car was backing up to get this shot, because it was 105 degrees in Las Vegas and I burnt my knee. Wow, you know I love this Panigale. What a Ducati. Wow. Anyway, before I started filming, I went into Lusso's and asked them if I could record out front. I didn't go in and say, hey, I got some cool cars, let me film out front. No, I was just some guy off the street with a phone. And they could not have been cooler. They were like, yeah, dude, do your thing. Go right ahead. Cool guys, and this place is off the hook. Check it out when you get time. Great dudes. These three Bugattis are so fine. Eventually, I actually talked to the owner. He owns all three of them. Yeah, he owns all three of these cars. He was super cool. I asked him, I said, hey, can I film the interior? He's like, hey, I got the key fob for one. Remember, I'm just a guy with a phone off the side of the road. And he was like, yeah, man, film the interior. Go right ahead. Help yourself. He even told me to move the towel if I'd like. I didn't. I didn't want to touch too much, and there really was no reason to. But cool of him to do so. This interior is all business for a high-speed run, which is exactly the way I like it. After I looked over the interior, I went back to the owner and just talked to him for a minute. I actually told him that I have a Lamborghini Diablo and a Ferrari Testarossa, and I instantly regretted it. I never tell people that, and I felt really dumb as soon as I said it, because I guess I wanted him to respect me, because, hell of a dude. But basically the value of my cars are the same as a couple of oil changes and tire changes for these cars. Last I remember hearing a Veyron, a set of tires is $45,000. I don't know what it costs for a Chiron, but anyways, the owner is a really cool guy and he let me have my big shot moment. I love Bugattis. I'm a massive fan of the EB110. When that car came out, I was just blown away by it. I remember visiting them at the Detroit Auto Show. They had them over the years. And then I saw a couple in Monterey. That was fantastic. Recently, I saw one at the Peterson Museum. It was next to an XK220, which is a whole nother video altogether. A friend of mine actually owns one of those cars. Maybe we'll visit it sometime. I've collected a lot of EB110 stuff over the years. This is just a little small sample of the collection. When the Veyron came out, it was a very big deal. My buddy Nick Jones worked at Lamborghini in Las Vegas at the time, back when that place was really cool. He hooked me up with a couple Veyron rides. One was a new owner took delivery in Vegas and brought his car back to Phoenix, took me along for the ride. We hit 190 miles an hour. Me as a passenger, it was fantastic. I won't tell you who the new owner was. He's legendary for getting in trouble speeding. It was a great trip. Thank you, Nick. Nick is now the general sales manager at Newport Beach Automotive Group. He's the guy I trust more than anyone else in this industry. A lot of crooks in this industry. Nick knows his stuff and he's trustworthy. Ask him about the time we got pulled over at 135 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone in a brand new Murcielago. Back then, the only other car with 1,000 horsepower was the SSC. I drove one with the owner of the company, Jerod Shelby. Jerod definitely has balls of steel to do what he's done, starting his own car company. I couldn't get the wheels to stop spinning the entire time in every gear. It was awesome and terrible at the same time, but it was an incredible thrill to drive that car. I actually got to drive it before they changed out the wheels and Leno drove it. When we were done with our ride, I told Jerod that I was rooting for him. I don't think he liked that, but I meant it in the best way. Starting your own car company here in America, an exotic car company, man, you're my hero. Many years later, I ran into Jerod again out in Monterey with his new car. This thing is killer. Anyway, I reminded him of our ride in the SSC way back. He didn't remember me, but looks like he's still moving ahead, and I'm still rooting for him. I hope you enjoyed this incredibly rare sighting with me. I'll never forget it. Thank you for being here.